Oh, sorry. Hey, I'm just road tripping. Maybe I'm tripping. Okay, so it's Wednesday, and I'm labeling Wednesday Wake Up Wednesday. Why? Because this is the day I'm going to give you really good information about Keto OS and prove it. And today I am calling this segment, I Take It Back. I take it all back, and here's why. First of all, let me take my sunglasses on. That's so rude to talk to you with sunglasses on. Oh, bad manners. So I'm headed to Spokane, and I have this long trip, so I'm like, I might as well do a little segment. So what am I taking back? I am taking back the fact that I am so over the top stoked about the fact that keto is helping me lose weight, because it is helping me lose weight. That is true. But as I've continued to learn about this product, I'm way more excited about some other information that I've learned about it that I want to share with you. So here's the deal. I'm going to put a graphic up with this video that talks a little bit about how our body functions in terms of fuel burn. And the more that I learn about this, you guys, the more I'm like, wow, we as Americans, we need to wake up. And I feel like in America, we're just kind of blindly following what industry is telling us. I know I should have my tinfoil hat and I should put it on, and maybe I will. But I'm honestly like so shocked at what I'm finding out in terms of what I never knew about ketones and what most people don't know about ketones, and the fact that even medical providers don't really understand ketones and the role that they play in making us healthy. So this graphic that I'm putting up, attaching to this video either in the comments section or maybe like right alongside, it shows the two ways that our body burns energy, okay? So when we burn energy, I'm going to go into teacher mode here, so put your thinking caps on. When we burn energy, we're either going to be burning energy through glucogenesis, which, as we talked about glucose last week, remember glucogenesis or glucose, that's a form of burning sugar. Glucose is just any form of sugar. When your body is in a state of glucogenesis, what's really, really interesting is, first of all, it's burning all the carbohydrates, right, that we talked about that you're putting in your system. But glucogenesis it puts your body into an anaerobic state. So if you've had some basic science classes, the word anaerobic should be very familiar to you. Anaerobic is literally without oxygen, okay? So the human body needs some things to thrive, and one of those things that the human body needs is oxygen. We need oxygen. Oops, my alarm is going off. I don't know why. Good thing I didn't sleep in. Woo. Okay, so we need oxygen. If we're eating a whole lot of carbohydrates, we are functioning in a state of glucogenesis, literally meaning we are starving our bodies of oxygen. And the interesting thing about that is that puts our body in a cancer-friendly environment. Now, I want to couch this statement with saying I never blame anyone for getting cancer, okay? The human body is a fascinating and complex machine. So I just want to let you know, if you know someone who has cancer, or you have had cancer, or you do have cancer, I am not putting blame on you. That's not what I'm doing. What I am trying to do is educate you, and I'm also not trying to be paranoid. That's not what I'm trying to be. Because genetics are genetics, and scientists don't really understand why people get cancer. However, it would be in our best interest as human beings to put in our bodies things that are not going to foster disease. We all know this. We all do. I've known this, and I've gone contrary to it because I honestly didn't understand what glucogenesis was and what it was doing to my body. I would read all of these blogs out there, these vegan blogs or these health blogs and gut health blogs, and I'd be like, I'm so tired of people preaching to me I'm going to die of something. I want the chocolate cake. But as I learn more about how my body functions and why I felt crappy before and why I feel so much better now, I understand eating carbohydrates in any form or fashion, if that is your main source of fuel to be burning, you are literally putting your body in an anaerobic, cancer-loving state. Okay, we've established glucogenesis. Now, on the flip side, you'll see in this little graphic that I put up that we can put our bodies in a state of ketogenesis. Interesting. We've talked about ketones. We've talked about ketosis in the past. And so ketogenesis is a process of burning not carbohydrates, not protein, but fat. And what's so interesting is our bodies want to burn fat in order to be efficient machines. If we feed our bodies fat, it's a little bit counterintuitive. We've learned our whole lives, if you don't want to be fat, don't eat fat. Which is why there's huge industry circulated around or centered around low-fat foods. So these low-fat foods are also high in what? Carbohydrates, which means they're high in glucose. So we've already covered that. However, if you shift your main source of fuel to being fat, you put your body in a state of ketogenesis, which is an aerobic environment, okay? Being in an aerobic environment means that you are not starving your body of oxygen. You literally are creating an environment for your body to be oxygen loving. And guess what horrible ailment hates oxygen? Cancer. Cancer does not want to be in an oxygen loving environment. It literally can't survive in that environment. Again, I'm not blaming anyone for getting cancer. I used to work in cancer clinics. I understand the immense amount of emotional pain that goes along with the physical pain. So please let me be clear on that. Again, however, we want to give our bodies the best shot possible at this life and feeling great. So if you have two main sources of fuel and you're putting in carbs instead of fat, I want you to really try and process that, okay? I don't want you to guilt yourself if you want carbs. I want you to understand that in America, we have an entire industry centered around convincing you that you need carbs to fuel your diet. Why that is, I don't know. I don't know why this myth is allowed to be perpetuated. And yeah, there's a lot of other sources out there that tell you no, but I mean, even if you look at like the food pyramid, it's still pretty heavy on carbs. There's nothing in there about ketones and fat burn. So this is really fascinating to me. And as I've learned more this last week, I mean, I just kind of had this insatiable hunger to learn more about ketones and about the fats that we can put into our bodies. And I ran across a term that is a main ingredient in Keto OS, and that is medium chain triglycerides. You guys, I'm going to put an article that is on the National Institutes of Health website. I am telling you right now, this is a disclaimer. Prove It has not, like, they don't have any claim to this article. But I am a former pharmaceutical sales rep, and it was my job when I sold a medication to know everything I could about that medication so that I could go into that clinic and say, hey, doc, or hey, nurse practitioner or PA or whoever I'm talking to, here's the reason this pharmaceutical will benefit your patient. I have this study and that study, and it says this. So I find this article about medium chain triglycerides. Medium chain triglycerides are a form of fat. And what's so fascinating about them is there is something called the blood-brain barrier. It's kind of a complicated idea, but you can learn all about the blood-brain barrier if you just go online and you Google it. When it comes to curing or solving, I don't want to say cure, but to recovering from certain ailments. The blood-brain barrier is really important. And when we talk about pharmaceuticals, so I just want to shift into pharmaceutical rep mode here. When we talk about pharmaceuticals, a lot of times when I was in clinics and I was talking to doctors, a lot of doctors would ask me about certain products, and they would ask me, does this product penetrate the blood-brain barrier? Is it capable of penetrating that? So there is an article, the one that I'm posting, that talks about medium chain triglycerides, which are a main ingredient in keto OS, and how they penetrate the blood-brain barrier and have been shown through this particular study to improve cognitive function in patients who have type 1 diabetes. If you're not familiar with type 1 diabetes, people are born with type 1 diabetes. This is not the type of diabetes that people acquire through weight gain and poor eating habits, okay? This is the type of diabetes that is genetic. They're literally born without the capability of making enough insulin for their bodies. And so as a doctor, as a health community, you have an entire sector of people who literally have a disease where if they don't get enough insulin, they are going to die. And that's why there are, insulin pumps, and people who have type 1 diabetes check their blood during the day, because if their insulin levels do not meet a certain criteria, they can go into shock, they can go into a coma, and they could eventually die. So how can we take someone who has type 1 diabetes and improve their ability to absorb the insulin and improve their ability to function at a better level to just basically improve their lives? And this particular study shows that medium chain triglycerides help improve cognitive function in patients with type 1 diabetes. Now, I've been really, really busy with my actual real job, so I haven't really been able to sit down and find other studies about MCTs and the blood-brain barrier. However, I used to sell a medication for Alzheimer's disease and dementia. And that's dealing all with cognitive function. So our cognitive function, that's literally the function of your brain to tell your body efficiently what it wants your body to do. And if you're not getting enough nutrients absorbing through or penetrating that blood-brain barrier, your brain is literally being starved of essential nutrients to help it function. I believe, and this is just me, and remember, I'm not a medical professional, I just have a whole lot of years working in the medical industry and learning to understand some really, really, and I just want to make clear, really, really basic concepts. I cannot give you medical advice, nor would I ever try. But I have heard and read accounts of other people talking about their grandmother or their elderly mother using keto OS and having an improvement in cognitive function. And at first, when I read those claims, I was like, no, that's crazy. But when I read this study that's on the NIH website, then it clicked. I understood. Well, this substance, medium chain fatty acids, literally penetrates the blood-brain barrier. Why would it not improve cognitive function, not only in type 1 diabetics, but in everyone else that it helps? You guys, I have been on this product for 2 weeks now. I have lost 11 pounds, but that's not the best part of this product. The best part is I feel amazing. And you know what? It has nothing to do with the caffeine. We sell a product that has 0 caffeine and you still feel amazing. And why? Because you have medium chain triglycerides penetrating the blood-brain barrier. And as you consume medium chain triglycerides in your diet with the ketogenic lifestyle, you are going to have the ability for more of a certain fuel source to penetrate your blood-brain barrier and literally help you have better brain function, better cognitive function. That's why me at 42 years old, starting into this whole middle age thing and having issues with some brain fog, as it's called, just basic flakiness is what I like to call it, having more and more issues with that. forgetfulness, misplacing things, losing track of what I was saying in the middle of a sentence for absolutely no reason on a more consistent basis. Since I have started on Keto OS, literally that's almost non-existent. It's almost non-existent. My cognitive function is higher. So not only am I losing weight because my body has become a fat-burning machine, but I have better cognitive function. I am functioning, my brain is functioning at a higher level than it was before. So this is not a miracle thing. It's not. It's ketones, you guys. Ketones are not something that you have to grow on the magical unicorn tree. They're fats. That's it. What? In America, why does everyone not know what a ketone is? So I did a little market research because I am just crazy and bold enough to go and talk to complete strangers. And a few days ago, as I was out and about running errands, I wanted to see what would happen if I went into a gym and I talked to some personal trainers about Keto OS and about ketones. So I go into this gym, and I won't tell you which one. I can tell you it was like a private gym, so it wasn't Gold's Gym or anything like that. And on my way in, there was a nice gentleman. He opened the door for me, and I asked him as I was going in, are there personal trainers here right now? And he pointed me right to the office. So I went into the office. There was a young lady there. She was a mom. She wasn't too terribly young. She had a couple of sons. And I said, hey, do you have a minute? I would love to talk to you about a product that I think can improve your client's health. And she's like, well, what product? And I told her, and she said, oh, I've heard about that product. I'm not interested in it. And I said, well, do you have a minute just to tell me why? I'm just really curious. I'm trying to learn as much as I can about this product. And she goes, you know what? I really don't. I just know that I've had a whole bunch of people try and talk to me about it, and I'm not interested in your product. So I'm like, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. But I said, I'll get out of your hair, but can I ask you, do you talk to your customers about ketones? And she said, well, no. Why would I do that? I'm like, I'm just curious. So you don't talk to your customers about ketones? And she said, no. So I said, you know what? I'm sorry to take your time. Have a great day. And I walked out, and the guy who had opened the door for me was sitting in his car. And I'm a little crazy, so I knocked on his window. His car was right next to mine, so I didn't go out of my way. I wasn't totally stalking him. But I knocked on his window, and I was like, okay, I want to do a little market research here because I want to know if this guy knows anything about ketones, like if he has educated himself about ketones. And I was like, hey, do you have a minute? I have this product. It's called Keto OS. Have you heard about it? No, I'm not interested. And I said, well, I know you're not interested, but just can I ask you a question? Have you ever heard of ketones? And he looked at me like I was the biggest moron on the planet, which maybe at the time I was, but he's like, no. I go, so nobody at this gym has ever told you what a ketone is and how it can help your body? And he's like, no. And I gotta pick up my kids. So he was irritated at me and whatever. But like I said, whatever, it doesn't bother me. So I get back in my car, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, that's crazy. We got a whole bunch of people who have no idea that there is this natural thing called ketones, that if we use this for our main fuel source, our body will function as a freaking fat-burning machine. We will have better cognitive function, and we will overall feel so much better than if we live in a state of glucogenesis. If we live in a state of ketogenesis, you guys, we would be a nation of like Supermen and Wonder Women. So I am on a mission. I'm on a mission, and I know this video has gone a long time, but I have to address this. So after I did that market research, I went around to a couple of doctor's offices that I used to visit. Just a couple, 2 or 3. And the reception wasn't terribly great because I'm not a drug rep anymore. So the doctors, really didn't have a lot of time, told me to come back later. I actually, a couple of places I did have success, right? But anyway, sorry, I'm parking. And so I have appointments to like go back and talk to them about this product. But the main thing was I was able to talk to a whole bunch of members of the staff of a couple of different offices where the doctors didn't have time at the moment to talk to me. And I educated them, and they knew enough about the human body that it clicked with them, and everybody wanted a sample. Everybody at these offices wanted a sample. You guys, I'm telling you, ketones, they've been around for as long as food has been on the planet, food sources, right? And as Americans, our food industry has been so commercialized and so industrialized that there's no reason for food companies to tell us about ketones. They're not going to make any money off of it because their entire product line and their entire revenue source is generated through carbohydrates and through glucose and through you functioning in a state of glucogenesis. And even if that means you die 10 years earlier feeling a whole lot crappier, that's okay. If you buy their products, they're still going to make a whole lot of money. So I want you to just break free of that paradigm that says that you have to live in a state of glucogenesis, that you don't have any other choice. You do have a choice. You can live in a state of ketogenesis. Your cognitive function can be higher. You can weigh less because your body will be a fat burning machine. This is not pseudoscience, you guys. It is real science. And I'm telling you right now, I would have loved to have had a product to sell to my doctors and to talk to my nurses about when I was a drug rep that was as easy to prove as ketones are. It's just easy. It's just real. It's just a fact. So if you had any doubt before you watched this video, and whether you watched this video or not, I don't know. But if you had any doubt in your mind about whether or not this product works, the science backs it up. MCT, medium chain triglycerides. It is not something that has been created in a lab. Medium chain triglycerides exist, and you can put them in your body, and you can do it effectively and efficiently and quickly with this product. Okay, real quick, if you've watched the video for this long, you are awesome. So I want to give you an opportunity to win something. If you share this video and you share it on your Facebook page and you tag me in it, and you also tag Prove It, you do a little pound with Prove It in it, I will put your name in a drawing, and I am giving away 3 of these water bottles that will help you with your Keto OS. You can mix your Keto OS in it, and then you can have it for the rest of your water for the day, because we all need to be drinking more water. Most of us don't drink enough water. So if you share this, I will put your name in a drawing, and 3 of you who share it will be chosen to get a water bottle, and I'll ship it to you. And if you, and I'll also include free samples of keto. So if you already have keto, you could get some more free keto. And if you don't have any keto, if you win the water bottle, I'll send you the water bottle with the keto. And I'm going to do the drawing tonight. And so, oh goodness. I'm going to do the drawing tonight. So you need to share this between now and this evening, because I'm probably going to do the drawing about maybe 9 or 10 tonight. Okay, you guys, you've been awesome. You've hung in there for almost 25 minutes. And just real quick, and I should have said this at the beginning of the video because this is such a long video. God loves you. Please remember that. And the more that I learn about this product, the more I understand. God has given us a fuel. I mean, I'm not talking God gave us this. Okay, that's not what I'm saying. God has given us a fuel. It's called ketones. It's naturally produced all over us, everywhere. This product, much like a lot of things that are wonderful, is a product that people who are really, really smart and super inspired and who want to help other people have created, that is going to help your body get more ketones quickly so that you can live in a state of ketogenesis, which means you are going to burn fat efficiently, function cognitively more efficiently, and generally have better well-being. God loves you. He wants you to make the best of your life. He just loves you. That's all I really want you to know. He loves you. And I want you to have a great day. And if you want some free samples, message me. I'll get you those free samples. I'm still doing 3 right now. I haven't changed that because I want to give people that whole experience. Okay, take care. You are loved. And we'll see you next time, you guys. Let's see if I can turn this off with just my little headphones. Whoop, there we go.